The great child custody silence. Are we protecting kids or just ignoring them? In a child custody case, it revolves around a child's life, and yet the child is the only person who does not speak directly to the court. Instead, children's voices are filtered through guardians ad litem, custody evaluators, and other professionals. The justification being that we are protecting the children from emotional and psychological harm, from loyalty conflicts, from pressure, and from the stress of testifying. But those explanations are rarely examined closely, and when you do examine them, you see an inconsistency. Because in other areas of the law, even reluctant or vulnerable witnesses, child or adult, testify anyway, and courts manage the difficulty rather than replacing the testimony. When children testify in abuse cases, criminal proceedings, and juvenile court matters, they do so often under more intense conditions than a child custody and parent time dispute. So the question becomes, why is family law the exception when it comes to children testifying? And what is really happening is not protection, but substitution, where first-hand testimony is replaced with second-hand interpretation, introducing the potential for bias, loss of context, and a lack of meaningful cross-examination. That raises a harder question, whether the system is avoiding harm or simply avoiding the discomfort and complexity of having to deal with child testimony. Because direct testimony is unpredictable and harder to manage, while reports create a cleaner and more controlled, dare I say, malleable record. But the cost of that convenience is evidentiary integrity, and the premise that testimony is inherently harmful to children is not well supported, if supported at all, because there is a difference between harmful questioning and careful structured inquiry. And courts have tools to safeguard children without silencing them, including in-camera interviews or recorded statements carefully curated, so that the answer is not to remove the child's voice, but to handle it responsibly. Because these decisions are life-altering and often made without hearing directly from the person most affected. And if we cannot clearly articulate the harm we are preventing, then we should question whether the current approach is actually serving children or simply serving the system.